Let's look at what Donald Trump has been doing, especially with he's caused a bit of a panic when it comes to the tariffs he's announced on Mexico and Canada. We've seen the panic play out about how it could potentially drive up costs, what it would mean for jobs. But really, what we were seeing unfold is Donald Trump sticking up for America, claiming that countries have been taking advantage of the US for a long time. And his focus is about getting fentanyl out of the country. Well, today, Trump announced that the tariff with Mexico has been suspended for a month after a call with Mexico's president, who has agreed to place 10,000 soldiers on the border to stop drugs and migrants while negotiations continue. This certainly feels like a win to me.
100% this is a win. And it just shows you, just by Donald Trump being vocal about putting America first, it shows these other countries that we mean business and that Mexico wants to actually play ball and help us because they don't want to be taxed through the nose. So this is a brilliant move by Donald Trump. He's a guy that actually cares about America and wants to make this country great again. And so far, he's just, he's hitting home runs left and right.
JD Vance has been so strong on this, as he always is. Here he is speaking to the media.
The message from President Trump to the entire world is very clear. We are done being taken advantage of, and we have a president who looks out for the interests of American citizens. Thank God we do, and we're going to try to do it the best we can.
Alex, it just brings me so much relief every time I see JD Vance addressing the media, because it just reminds me that there was a point in time where this could have been Tim Walz.
Oh my gosh, or even Mike Pence. I mean, J.D. Vance is such an upgrade from both of those individuals. I'm so happy that Pence isn't on this ticket. He's totally become a traitor to the, whole Trump administration. But when you have J.D. Vance, you have to realize is that he sees what the American people want. And he realizes that he has a good shot of being the next president. So he's going to go out there and he's going to take this opportunity and he's going to try to do the best job that he can. And I think he's doing a great job by being so vocal. So listen. He's next in line, so he's going to try to probably invoke as much Trumpisms and try to be as vocal as Donald Trump is, because that's what the American people want, and that's what the American people need.
Absolutely. Look, Trump's been in power for just 2 weeks, can you believe it? And his administration claims that border encounters have plummeted by 93%, which is, of course, a good thing, but it's not apparently if you're in Los Angeles, because on Sunday we saw hundreds of protesters flooding a busy LA freeway, causing major traffic delays in response to President Donald Trump's illegal immigration crackdown. The images of this are just insane. But Alex, you'll love this. There are now calls on social media for women to become Karens if they see ICE patrols, to essentially give those people a hard time. Here's this post that reads, "This is our chance to Karen for the greater good. Asked to speak to their manager, be relentless and be the Karen you were meant to be." I mean, come on, I can't believe it. They want illegal immigrants to stay in LA.
Yeah, and it's just the virtue signaling is off the chart. But what really bugs me, though, is when you saw the footage from all these protests that just happened here in America, you see that they're burning American flags. They are just disrespecting America so much, and they're waving the flag of their home country. If their home country is so good and you're so proud of it, go move there. We don't even need you. I just don't understand why stay in a place like America if it's so oppressive to your people, because these people are lying. They're doing activism because they want more illegal immigration here. And what that does is that really it makes all the people that came here and did it the right way, that came here legally, it just discredits everything that they did. And really it's disrespectful to the people that came here and did it the right way. So these protests are only going to happen more and more, I believe. But I think this is kind of what we need. We all need to talk about this serious issue, that if you want to come to this country, you're more than welcome, but you need to come here the legal way so that we can vet you, so that we can know that if you have a criminal history, that if you did, or ever, committed a serious crime, I'm sorry, we don't want you here. And that's just the cold, hard facts. And I'm happy that this is happening so that we can actually make some changes and protect our border, and people like Laken Riley aren't viciously murdered, while they're out just getting gas.
Let's check in on the Democrats. A new Quinnipiac University poll found that 57% have an unfavourable view of the Democratic Party. That comes as no surprise, but it appears that the Democrats haven't learnt anything. Here they are blaming racism and misogyny for the election loss.
How many of you believe that racism and misogyny played a role in Vice President Harris's defeat? Okay. So that's good. You all passed.
We're never going to hear the end of that, are we? This is just going to be their messaging for a long time.
It is going to be their messaging, and I think that what they're going to do next, and I don't know if I'm 100% right, but they're going to put Gavin Newsom up because he's a white guy, and they're going to be able to say that he won't be a victim of racism or misogyny, which is just provably false. Because if Kamala Harris was actually qualified, her being a woman would have given her an advantage, I believe, in this election. So it's just not true. The left has to make everything about race and gender truly being the racist ones. Because when you justify and label everybody by their race or, DEI instead of having a meritocracy, this is why we don't have qualified candidates. And this is why the Democratic Party is literally dying, because Kamala Harris, nobody liked her. And they didn't dislike her because she was a woman or because she was ethnically ambiguous. They didn't like her because she was untalented and she just cackled all the time. And she couldn't admit that even during her time as vice president, that their administration made any mistakes whatsoever. So people saw that she's a liar. That all got exposed and had nothing to do with the fact that she is a woman.
And I think they're in trouble if they want Gavin Newsom to lead. He's been a disaster for California, and we've seen that with the wildfire catastrophe that unfolded in January. But Donald Trump, he's saving the day. He issued an executive order on Sunday to call on federal agencies to overrule California's regulations on endangered species to create more water availability. And the order also calls on several federal agencies to conduct reviews of environmental programs in the state. Now, this is a win for people in California. They've been through so much and they needed action like this to be taken.
100%. And, it's not just the water. And, it is kind of sad that some fish are probably going to have their habitat affected. But trust me, for the hundreds of thousands of people that were displaced in California, they need the help more than a few thousand fish. And I'm not trying to be insensitive, but that's why California is so insane. They would rather protect a fish that nobody cares about than protecting their own citizens. And it doesn't just start with the water issue. They need to do controlled burns. They need to go get dead debris that's over 6 feet tall. There's a lot of protocols that the government of California and Gavin Newsom were not following in order to stop a wildfire. So Donald Trump will literally now start a fire underneath California to go fix all these issues that should have been fixed. It doesn't make any sense that reservoirs didn't have water in them, or that they didn't have enough fire trucks, or that the fire hydrants weren't usable. None of that makes sense in a first world country and first world city like Los Angeles, arguably one of the biggest cities in the world. This should be a simple thing, having water to put out fires, but not in Los Angeles, California, because the leadership is just so incompetent.
Alex Stein, thank you so much for joining us. Great to chat with you.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.